Laurie from Madison Ave Bookkeeping, a division of Hudson Valley Bookkeeping. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to connect your credit card to your QuickBooks for your mental health practice. We're also going to go over the big do's and don'ts, especially at the end where I'm going to show you how you could possibly double post different items. So make sure you watch until the end. All right, let's get started. So now I'm going to teach you the steps to post your credit card and how you would connect that to your bank if possible. All right. So first of all, in this file, which is a demo file, I have a checking account, but I have not done anything regarding the credit card. So before you go and you try and connect the credit card, you should create a credit card account in your chart of accounts. So let's go do that first. So I have already bookmarked chart of accounts. That's one of my favorite bookmarks because I do almost everything out of there. But if you haven't already, you would go down here to accounting, scroll down and click chart of accounts. So here I have a new video on understanding your chart of accounts. So I'm not going to go over this in depth. Instead, I'm just going to click new, move my head. I'm going to call it credit card. I'm not going to, and then I will put the name of the bank afterward because I already have a Chase checking. So if I type Chase again, it's going to mess me up later. I'm going to drop down the account type. I'm going to pick credit card. Now, guys, detail type is not really that important, but it just only had one to choose from, so that works fine. You do not want to go and connect any account, in that bank transaction window. We've also called it bank feeds until you have the account created in your chart. So we have done that. So now we'll go back. I'm going to go back down to accounting. And this is another one that I have bookmarked along with my other one. And right now you can see we only have a checking account. So we're going to say link account. Now, guys, I can't really link an account, right? Because I can't show other people's banking information, but I'm going to walk you through what's going to happen. Skip this, do it the normal way. And now what you're going to do is enter your username and password, and it's going to take you to a window where you're going to pick your bank account that you want to link. Now, I can't do it any further than this. I'm going to show you what happens. I'm just going to import something and we'll get to the same thing. But what you're going to do is then go type in credit card and credit card's going to show up. Okay. Okay, so now I have imported my credit card because I can't really connect it, but you will have gotten to the same point. Now you will see that your credit card will hopefully be connected. And then now you will be posting your transactions. So we'll go through what I want to talk about, the do's and don'ts of credit cards, and then just, again, a simple how-to on how to post. Any credit card you are connecting and doing these imports in, you should not have any personal items on these credit cards. So don't connect a credit card if you have a handful of charges that you're just trying to make sure you get credit. It's not like credit. It's like you want to have that expense shown on your profit and loss. So you're thinking, let me just connect all of my personal credit cards because I don't want to miss out on any expenses. I will make a separate video on that. I think I have made videos, but those should be entered one at a time, a different way. Okay, so now we are going to learn what we should do here regarding posting and creating rules for your credit card. This is the new look of QuickBooks Online. So we have a bank description. It's really for psychology today. Everything seems to be backward from the way it's normally done. So I normally put psychology today in advertising and promotion. The transaction type should always be an expense when you're posting charges, okay? Now you could go down here, you can create a rule. We're going to say money out. I always say all bank accounts because if your credit card changes, then your rules won't work anymore. I drop this down to bank text. And I always double clear the replace bank memo. This is so silly. You want that bank memo. It usually has a very specific chain of numbers or a place or town where you made the charge. If you were, let's say, at Starbucks in Goshen, New York, right? That would be specific. So we can say save. Auto add is really good if you're doing an entire year all at once. I don't totally recommend it for new people unless you're posting an entire year. It is good to be in your bank transaction window and checking what is happening on your credit card. I have found more items that I realized I didn't even need that. I didn't even know I was on a renewal for a subscription for something. I no longer needed a software, right? They always make you sign up. It's recurring. So being in your bank transaction window is really good for you. So I wouldn't normally put auto add. I am going to this time because I'm just trying to show you how to get a whole bunch done. But I would kind of shy away from that unless you're really posting a lot. Okay. Amazon. Now, look, guys, here's another thing you need to know. QuickBooks is not great at determining what your category should be. So don't get hung up on this, right? This is just what it's suggesting, and we don't want that, right? So we're going to say that this is some sort of office supply. Pay to, that's the vendor. And we could create a rule. Now with Amazon, I have a thing where I look it up because I order so many things from Amazon. So I might have ink or office supplies, or maybe it's coffee filters. It's just such an large company that gives you so many things that I sometimes that would be a good one to specifically not make a rule for and only do it, but I'm going to now because I'm going to try to clean this out. But I would maybe not make a rule for Amazon, and you should look it up. Okay, so this would be software. The vendor is probably not here, so we're going to have to say add new. I really advise as much as you can to create your vendors ahead of time. I did a video on how to import a list of vendors that if you went and looked at all your credit cards, your bank account, you understood what you're, normally who you spend money with. There you go. Not sure what that one was. So we'll do staples. It came up with office supplies. That's a good one. We'll say create a rule. Again, I'm dropping it down to all bank accounts. I'm dropping this to bank text, just helps. Double clicking on the clear. I don't want anything overwritten. And I'm clicking save. So let's see if we have QuickBooks. Well, it's usually Intuit. Okay. Now, again, never click this business network. That is really scary. You could accidentally start paying people out of your QuickBooks. We're doing an expense. We're going to pick software. I'm going to create a rule, except the rule actually in the bank text. Okay, I'm say Intuit. Yep, it's going to say QuickBooks. I'm going to double check this. Always take a second, just double check everything. Click save. So I think this one, this is just like a fake file. I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be Zoom. Yeah, see, that's the video. So I'm going to say add Zoom. Again, I'm going to ignore the QuickBooks Business Network. You could accidentally pay people. Here, I'm going to drop down. I'm going to go pick software. I'm going to create a rule. I just normally use the name of the vendor. And say all bank accounts. I always drop this to bank text. I double click that and I click save. You see how I've had 29 transactions and I'm already getting through it pretty quick. So software is fine. I don't think I have Adobe. So it's going to add it. Again, I'm going to X out of that. Create the rule. This will save you time. I just wouldn't maybe do the auto add because then you'll see it one time. Okay, save. This is good. It picked this one correct from the word here. See now this one, if it's only a one-time thing, I would just, so it's funny, now they're calling it post. That's a very big accounting term. Normally it's usually categorize or add is how they word things. So that's interesting. So this is Walgreens. It didn't pick it up. Gonna add that. And that's usually office supplies. That looks fine. We'll look to see if that vendor's been created. Okay, it hasn't. Okay, create the rule. Oh, so money out, bank text, category. We did have it, but somehow it went away. So we're going to say insurance, and then we had general liability. And now this one, I'm not really sure. I think it was some continuing education. And we'll call that CEU Marketplace. Okay. This one, I want to say it's maybe a one-off, and I'm just going to click post. Okay, so let's now look how quick I did that. So I created some rules. So it posted a whole bunch of transactions. I had 29 transactions, and I think we did it in about 5 minutes. So I want to show you what a lot of new people working in QuickBooks don't seem to understand is they don't know what's happening when they're doing that. They don't know what does that mean? What is happening with this? So we're going to go look at the credit card now. So again, I love using chart of accounts, or you could be right here where it's highlighted. See if I move that, it's highlighted the checking. Now, if I highlight back to the credit card, I could click to go to bank register. And now here we are. Here is everything I just posted from that bank transaction window. Now you could have a lot more than 29 transactions. But see how now they are all posted? So these categories are now showing up on your profit and loss. So let's go look really quick. So now you have a balance, right? Posting the payment, let's say this was paid off each month, that would be another piece that you have to make sure you understand. So if your bank account is paying off this balance, you should start to see payments on this side. I'm going to run the report to show you where this went, and then I will show you a simple, it's a concept that a lot of people have a hard time with, so, but one step at a time. So Now let's go over to reports, click standard reports, profit and loss by month. And I'm doing last year. And most of the things we just posted, now this is a pretty big demo file now, is over here in the expenses, right? So let's just click total. And then you'll see how in the ledger of these expenses, a lot of it is in that credit card. Okay, so this was paid, the rent was paid out of the Chase checking, utilities as well. And then here you can see that certain things were paid on the credit card, right? And maybe this was a debit card because Google Ads would happen that way. So Psychology Today, different things. So now you can see how the credit card is now integrating in. So if you didn't have your credit card expenses posted, you would be missing out on deductible business expenses, right? And again, guys, if this is getting confusing or you're not really sure and you feel like you need some more guidance, don't forget I offer QuickBooks coaching for any solo practitioners. All right. So there we have it. So here's your Amazon, your Office. Some of this is the credit card. Some was like, let's say, a debit card. And so that's how that works. Okay. So that is where those transactions go. They go into your ledgers, like your credit card ledger or your checking account ledger. And then from that, it populates into a report that can help you see. The whole goal is to understand how much money you're making and, help you plan. And then the second goal is that you get your tax return filed on time without stress. So now let's just look at last year again for this fake practice. Mind you, this is just a demo file. And so we have our income. And then we have our expenses, which are really low for the amount of, anyway, and then this is what you're trying to achieve, right? Your profit and loss. Okay. All right. So I want to show you one last thing, and that is how you would post a payment to the credit card. Okay, guys, let's talk about one of the things that messes people up more than anything regarding credit cards. The issue is this. You will normally have your checking account connected and you will have your credit card connected. And what can happen with that is that the same exact transaction, it's only one transaction really, is in two of your bank transaction windows in QuickBooks. This gets really confusing. So what we do at my bookkeeping company is we post the credit card payment exclusively out of the bank account and never in the credit card side. Because when I usually am coaching people and helping them with their QuickBooks, they have double posted all of the payments to pay down the credit card. Now, let me explain something else. So guys, basically what's happening is money is leaving your bank account, right? And it's going and paying down your credit card. So in your QuickBooks, your bank balance is going to decrease, but also your credit card balance is going to decrease, right? So the issue here is that this exact 7520 is here in your credit card window, and it's here. And look how it's saying received on your credit card side, and it's saying spent. So if you were to post both of these, you would have an issue because it's really the exact same transaction. It's leaving Chase and it's going and posting against your expenses in your register. So what I say is we always ignore these payments on the credit card side because especially just always ignore it. And then you will go back if you paid it from some other source. We're going to just pretend it's a very simple file. You have a checking account and one credit card. So we're going to say here, Chase, and then what we're going to do is drop this down, and it brought it up, Chase credit card, right? Let's see, we can say, and I never pair and I never match. It's a disaster. I don't want them to be paired. See how I just said unpair? It's picking it, and I'm going to show you what it's doing, and then we're going to say we're choosing categorize. Okay. And we're going to click post. So that was our 210 payment. Now let's go back over here. Now it's saying, look, it's wanting to match it, and it's saying it matches the expense that we just posted. And see how it wants you to match it? Just don't. Just click exclude. Because what I've seen when I fix people's QuickBooks is they sometimes have the exact same, like an auto pay or a certain amount they're normally paying, and they'll match a February transaction to an April or December, which creates total chaos. So just remember that I always say you're going to exclude. So here, and I'm a little careful. Please, if you only have one credit card, your life will be so much easier. Again, we're going to go down here. We're going to pick expense as the transaction type. Our account, we're going to type in credit card. Because again, you don't want to do credit card payment. Again, we fix so many books where they are picking pay down credit card and all of these other things, which at our company, we do not do any of that. We're not going to match. We're going to click post. So again, watch what all the different things it wants to do that. Just stick with expense. If you choose these other things, they've created these to help people who are non-accountants, but instead a lot of these things create a much more difficult set of books, right? So we'll just type in credit card, Chase. It's weird how it's the little, I guess I messed that up before. And then I'm gonna go over here and click post, right? So again, don't do credit card payment, switch it to expense, type in credit card. So the vendor you should have, actually. We didn't even do that. So add it. You really do want to have vendors on everything if possible. Save. We're going to, again, we're not matching, we're categorizing. We have this as an expense. We're going to click post. I'm not doing rules on these. Credit cards get messed up so fast. Never do transfer. See, if I type in Chase, I get checking account and that. So people do that a lot too, and that's not good. So we're going to say post. There's only a couple more. Okay, so we have categorized. We're not doing credit card payment. We're choosing expense. We're typing in credit card. This is why you don't want to have too many. Saying Chase credit card. Now I will create a rule on this. But don't create a rule if you have more than one Chase credit card. I have some people that I help and they have like 3 accounts, which you should not do. Don't create rules then. You're going to have too many cards you're paying. You're going to pick the wrong one. There's not going to be enough detail for the program to know you have like a Chase United mileage card and then you have a Chase Amazon Visa, and then no rules. Okay. See, I don't even know that I want to do this. Well, let's just see what happens. Okay, I'm going to say clear, category. The transaction type at least is going to be an expense, but I see that still do that. I'm not going to do auto add. So let's see what happens. So look, it created all these rules. I want to just reset so it doesn't have that one. Okay, so we're paying down the Chase. It's $45. It's going. Look, you can move this over. Just ignore this stuff they're popping up. Okay, so from to, but then look, we don't have the vendor name. So, okay, from to is the vendor. They keep changing this. Account is Chase, and we're doing that. So that's fine. That's another thing I would recommend is just looking at it before and not just batch posting. We're doing categorizing. We're going there. Just checking it. It's always an expense. So that's good. It actually stuck that part. So we're not getting that pay down credit card payment part. Okay, 2 left. Okay. Now let's go see what it did on the other side. So it's showing that these match, right? Like, and it's trying to see if we would like to match them, but we don't. We're not going to match them. Instead, what I want you to do is batch pick those. Now, if you were just, 1 month at a time, you could just drop down here. You can click exclude. When it's matching, that's what that little weird thing is, then that's great. What I say to people, if it's matching, it means it's already in the book. So you don't need it. You don't need to double post. Just exclude. So you just go down here and exclude. If you were to pick categorize, you would have a problem. Because where are you going to categorize this from, right? And see, right now it says it found, look at how many there were that are the same amount. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Just don't match. It's a disaster. Okay, so I'm going to click the rest. I'm going to click exclude. If you just follow that, you'll have so much easier of a QuickBooks time. Okay, and so what happened here is, in this scenario, you have a certain amount of charges each month, and then the due date to pay off the credit card was the 10th for the prior month. So let's just go look here. So we had a total of, through January, the total charges are $75.20, and then on the 10th, that was paid off, right? And so again, at the end of February, the balance was $45. Following month, $45 paid off. If you're not paying, but notice that there's still a running balance because the payment is 10 days after the close of the month. So it's never really going down to zero until I didn't post any expenses in 2026. So then it shows that, right? So you are also going to want to make sure you reconcile your credit card along with your bank account each month. And specifically, if you're doing a trying to post a year and reconcile, then I would recommend that you post your bank account for 1 month. Don't go too crazy. Post your credit card. Make sure your payments work. Do the bank reconciliation. So do your January posting of your bank, January posting of your credit card, so you can make sure you didn't double post your payments. If you did that match thing or that pay down credit card or the credit card payment option, you could have screwed it up. So you want to go and, reconcile this and cross-check your transactions against your statement. And just remember, please don't put on personal expenses on the credit card. Don't link a credit card that is really your personal account. All right, I hope this was helpful. Again, if you need help and you feel like you need a little more guidance, I offer QuickBooks coaching. And we also offer fixed price monthly bookkeeping for solo mental health professionals. All right, have a great day.